Good morning, student. I am Alhajinta Bangkora, your instructor for today's lesson. For today's lesson, I'm gonna discussing you about the multisensory aids in teaching, which is one of the principles and strategies in teaching and learning. So, let's start with the question, what is multisensory aids? Multisensory aids is a way of teaching that engages more than one sense at a time. This includes using the sense of sight, hearing, touch, and movement, which can give the student more than one way to connect of what they have learned. So, being a teacher is not an easy job because not all your students can understand you, or not all your students are the same. Why? Even though from morning till the afternoon you are discussing to them, not all your students or 100% of your students can understand of what you are discussing or what you have discussed to them. So, these instructional aids will enter. These instructional aids will help the teacher as well as the student for most easiest and fastest way to connect to them. Okay? So, let's proceed to the kinds of instructional aids. This includes the printed materials, audio aids, visual aids, audiovisual aids, demonstration, community resources, language laboratory, and the program instruction. So, let's start with the printed materials. Printed materials falls into two broad classes, which is the textbooks and the supplemental materials. Textbooks has a systematic arrangement of subject matter designed to assist the instructor in teaching, particularly content to student at a specific grade level. So, if you recall on your elementary days, in every grade level, may binibigay sa atin yung mga teacher natin na textbook sa different subject like in mathematics, science, English, Filipino, ganun. This textbook is the guide of the teacher and as well as the student on their daily topics. Okay? But then, it is accordingly sa grade level kung anong grade ka na. Okay? So, the other one is the supplemental materials. Various printed materials used to supplement regular classwork and textbook, including workbooks, duplicated outlines, teacher-prepared study guides, reference book, pamphlets, magazine articles, and newspaper. So, workbooks. Accompanying basic texts with exercises well-planned and carefully written and can help students supplement, review, and organize what they have learned. So, yung textbook kadalasan, workbook kadalasan, binibigay sa atin yung mga teacher natin. Dun na nilalagay yung topic. And as well as dun ka na din mag-a-answer. Kaya nga ginawa siyang workbook. Okay? And then, other supplemental materials like the magazine, pamphlets, newspaper, kadalasan nakikita sila sa mga school library. Okay? Nilagay sila doon as a additional information or sources na wala sa mga textbook natin. Okay? So, let's proceed to the second one, or the second kind of instructional materials, which is, instructional aids, which is the audio aids. Recorded and transmitted sounds are used into schools now to provide learning experiences in listening. So, this includes the radio, phonographs, and the tape recorders. So, let's start with the radio. Radio has been formed or found to be a valuable instructional aid for most children. It has been used effectively by teachers of music, social studies, language, arts, and other subjects for appreciation, for understanding techniques and skill, for keeping abreast of new ideas, opinions, and research, and for enrichment of experiences. So, number 2 is the phonographs and the tape recorders. Recording sounds on either disc records or magnetic tape for school purposes has increased greatly in recent years. Such recordings have practically all the values derived from the use of the radio. Unlike the radio, it is easy to use these materials at the exact time they are needed. So, unlike radio, hindi siya recorded. Okay? Yung mismo na naririnig nila at a recent time or in that time. While the recorded is nagagamit mo siya kung kailan siya kailangan. Okay? So, tape recorders is fit for individual group listening, like in kindergarten and primary grades, like on the daycare or the kindergarten. The teacher use the tape recorders to for the nursery rhymes, used for rhythm development, storytelling, or playing games sa mga estudyante nila or yung mga pupil nila. It is useful in teaching speech, drama, poetry, and foreign language. Yung may mga teacher na nagpaparinig ng mga tape recorder kung gusto nilang turuan yung mga estudyante nila sa mga poetry, ganon, yung mga language, different language. Okay, number 3 is the visual aids. Visual aid most of the conventional and commonplace instructional materials. Teacher with more tools with which to add dimension to his teaching. So, visual aids is yung mga nakikita natin, okay, from the word visual. This includes the chalkboards and still picture. Chalkboard, di ba? Chalkboard most common of all visual aids in the classroom, lecture room, and laboratory. Words or illustration can be written or drawn in chalk. So, di ba kapag may blackboard or chalkboard, nasasabi mo na classroom yung isang place, di ba? So, it is very common it is a very common instructional aids. Sa chalkboard kasi, doon mo na, it is easy for the teacher to express of what she or he is going to discuss. Like for example, sinusulat mo na lang doon. Doon mo na sinusulat lahat ng mga gusto mo. In that way, your student can more or easily understand of what you are teaching to them or discussing to them or trying to tell to them. Okay? And it is also easy to erase. Okay? And the other one is the still picture. Help qualify vague ideas, especially of things, places, custom, and ideas removed from one's immediate environment. Picture appeal to all children and adults. Teacher use pictures in motivating and vitalizing learning experience with all age group. This includes the